from a Crypto Astrology Group CAG member webinar with William Stickevers.
We also know that it's not going to stop there because we see a U.S. crypto regime shift is now underway, where we see pro-crypto figures like David Sachs, who is the czar. He's the crypto czar, and he's the AI czar. And Cynthia Lummis, who's pushing for the Lummis bill to convert U.S. gold reserves into Bitcoin as part of a strategic asset strategy, which she has the votes right now in Congress and in the Senate. She already has the votes. When the new senators and congressmen take their oath of office on January 3rd, you'll have a new Congress, new Senate. We already know what the votes are, pretty much that they can push this bill through to advance this Bitcoin strategic reserve legislation. And Trump met with crypto leaders to discuss the national Bitcoin reserve. So they're getting the details put together. We're seeing right here the discussion with the Crypto.com CEO discussing national Bitcoin reserve proposal and potential crypto related. So this is going to happen. And people who have doubts, the astrologers out there, right, who blatantly stated, by the way, he doesn't believe Trump will follow through on his verbal representations. He will not follow through on his political promise of building a Bitcoin reserve. What we're seeing here is rolling 9-week flows into U.S. equity ETFs and mutual funds. So in other words, the policies of the coming Trump administration, the particular ETFs and mutual funds that would benefit from a Trump administration, they are going right off the roof here. They're taking off. And we just now got confirmation through various different sources that Trump has expressed not only support for a Bitcoin Act, he plans to make Bitcoin a strategic asset based on the first day through executive order. So the plan is to do this. Trump will make Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset. The plan involves selling part of the U.S. government's gold reserve to acquire 1 million Bitcoin, about 5% of all currently available Bitcoin on the exchanges, and will hold that Bitcoin for 20 years. Now, I don't think they're going to sell a Bitcoin. They're going to probably hold that in cold storage forever, but right? And then such a move, regardless, would signal a seismic shift in U.S. monetary policy, placing Bitcoin on par with or even ahead of gold as a cornerstone of national wealth storage. So how much longer do you and I think we're going to keep holding our gold? At what point do you realize, right? People are going to be getting out to go crazy the moment this becomes a reality. Now, I looked at the poly market. The poly market said there's a 40% chance. Now, this is a few days ago. It may have gone up. I don't know. But will Trump create a national Bitcoin reserve in the first 100 days? And I looked at the odds and I said, okay, it's 40%. It's gone up. It's been going up. So I did a horary. And the horary, by the way, what I can assess is probability. I got to say, okay, is the answer yes or no? And how much is the answer yes or no? Is it like a conditional no? Like, yeah, the answer is no, but you could turn this around. Or is this a yes, but there are certain caveats with that yes? Or is this a home run? So in this case, when I looked at the horary, it was 100% yes, meaning nothing can stop this from happening. And by the way, this is the same approach I used with all 12 battleground states, right? Who is ahead in the state? What are the odds? What are the prediction markets saying? And then I would generate a horary and say, okay, is the horary showing something different than the prediction markets? And in this case, the horary is making it very clear with me that the prediction markets are undervaluing the probability. So there's probably a lot of naysayers out there thinking Trump's really not going to execute on what he says he's going to do. So I'm telling you right now, here's my prediction right down. 100% probability Trump will create a national Bitcoin reserve within the first 100 days. They will create it. I'm not saying it will be totally operational at that point, but the executive order, the legislation, the political pathway, everything will be cleared and being rolled out within the first 100 days for sure. All right. I'm not going to go into the particular of the horary. I'll lose everybody here. 90+% of astrologers don't understand horary, don't do it, right? It's the hardest astrology in the world. Like if sun signs is arithmetic, horary is the calculus of astrology. So that's why a lot of astrologers run away from it. And so I use this here. It's very clear. Notice here, by the way, Neptune is on the midheaven, the top of the chart. Neptune is going to be transitioning into the sign of Aries, right? It's going direct into the sign of Aries right on the world point. So that gives us an idea of the timing, and that certainly happens in the spring of next year. Okay. Now, Fox Business Morning with Maria Bartiromo on December 13th, when she interviewed the Digital Chamber founder, CEO, Perianne Boring. Boring unveiled her price prediction, where she stated on the show that Bitcoin could surge to 800,000 in 2025 under the economic proposal set forth by President-elect Donald Trump. So, the fact that we're talking about a $2 million Bitcoin in 3 years, I made a conservative prediction. If you remember back earlier this year, I was predicting a $300,000 Bitcoin, and that was before there was ever any strategic reserve asset, meaning that the banana zone, when it was done, when it was played out, we would hit that $300,000 mark. Now, because of the strategic reserve factor, we could see it push well past 300,000 to 800,000. And when we look at this, with Trump confirming U.S. Bitcoin reserve, Trump plans to buy 20% of the Bitcoin entire supply for strategic reserve. Ford predicts a $15 trillion Bitcoin to rise, which would give it a price around $1 million per token. So we're looking Bitcoin going from what? 2.4 trillion to 15 trillion within striking distance to gold. That would push Bitcoin between the price of 800,000 to 1 million, let's say within a year of the Bitcoin strategic asset reserve legislation being pushed through. So, it's going to take time for them to get the mechanism going. But let's say a year, right? We're going to push past 300,000 easily. And this is why I'm trying to get it clear with you, even though there's crypto astrologers out there, crypto forecasters, they keep saying, I see Bitcoin about 150, 175. I work on Wall Street. Yeah, you've only been predicting it, dude, for 2 years now because you said Bitcoin was rat poison 3 years ago. But now you know everything because you're a Wall Street guy. And they're discounting it. And also, many of them are pro-Kamala and believe Kamala really should have won the election. So they are prejudiced against Trump to the point where they're undervaluing what Bitcoin can do simply because they don't believe anything will come from what Trump says. And more importantly, the crypto astrologers out there are talking the same way as well, because the majority of them are radical left socialists who happen to be into crypto, which makes no sense because crypto is the most libertarian thing you could do, right? It goes completely against socialism. So that's why they're undervaluing it, they're marginalizing it, they're playing it down. They're not talking about this number here, 2.3 million. That's why I keep saying, do you think buying more stock in AI for the moment? Now, AI is going to be a big thing. We know it's going to be so big that within a year from now, your life is going to be radically reconfigured, whether you like it or not, whether you approve it or not, whether you're afraid of it or not. It's coming to you, hitting your living room with a vengeance. AI, yes. But in terms of investing for the moment, what do you think the best investment out there is? No doubt, Bitcoin. Now, yeah, the altcoins as well. But what I'm getting at here is once Bitcoin becomes a strategic reserve asset and all plausible deniability collapses, then the altcoin market will fuse with the AI innovations. And then we're going to be seeing stellar returns that are going to blow out anything we saw in the past.
After 4 years of high-accuracy crypto forecasting, including his early call on institutional adoption, William has closed the Crypto Astrology Group and Report, but his mission to guide serious investors with strategy and timing continues. A new altcoin group is coming, focused on the high-risk, high-reward phase of this cycle. Join the early access list to be notified when details are released for the altcoin investor group at the link in the description or at williamstickevers.com.